Listen carefully, because this might be the moment everything changes for you. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things finally get better, right now. Because the truth is, your life is not controlled by luck, by chance, or by the people around you. It is controlled by something far more powerful, something invisible, something most people never take the time to understand. Your mindset. And if you don't take control of it, it will control you. Every thought you entertain, every belief you repeat, every excuse you accept, they are not harmless. They are seeds, and those seeds are quietly shaping your future one decision at a time. You don't wake up one day successful. You don't suddenly become disciplined. You don't magically transform into someone powerful. It starts in the mind. Before the money, before the results, before the recognition, there is a shift, a decision. A moment where you stop thinking like everyone else and start thinking like someone who refuses to stay average. Because average is comfortable. Average is crowded. Average is easy. But average will never take you where you want to go. And deep down, you already know that. You feel it when you wake up in the morning and something inside you whispers, this isn't it. You feel it when you see someone else living the life you dream about. And it stings not because you're jealous, but because you recognize what's possible. That feeling, that discomfort, that quiet frustration, that's not a weakness. That's your potential trying to wake you up. But here's where most people fail. They feel the fire, but they don't change the mindset. They want success, but they think in limitations. They want growth, but they feed doubt. They want results, but they live in excuses. And you cannot build a powerful life with a weak mindset. It doesn't work like that. You cannot think small and live big. You cannot doubt yourself and expect greatness. You cannot fear failure and demand success. Your mind has to match your ambition. And that's where the real work begins. Because changing your life doesn't start with your actions, it starts with your perspective. The way you see yourself, the way you interpret failure, the way you respond when things don't go your way. Most people see obstacles and they stop. But a different mindset sees obstacles and sees opportunity. Most people see failure and they quit. But a different mindset sees failure and sees feedback. Most people wait for motivation. But a different mindset understands that discipline creates motivation, not the other way around. And that's the separation. That's the line between those who dream and those who dominate. Look at history. Every great individual you admire, they were not born with certainty. They were not handed confidence. They were not protected from struggle. They faced rejection. They faced doubt. They faced moments where everything told them to quit. But their mindset refused. They didn't see themselves as victims of circumstance. They saw themselves as creators of outcome. And that belief, that unshakable internal conviction is what carried them through the storms that break everyone else. Because life will test you. It will push you. It will challenge your patience. It will break your plans. And in those moments, your skills won't save you. Your talent won't save you. Your mindset will. Because when everything falls apart, the only thing you truly have is how you think. Do you panic or do you adapt? Do you complain or do you create? Do you blame or do you build? That choice, repeated over time, becomes your identity. And your identity becomes your future. So if you want a different future, you need a different identity. Not later, not someday. Now you have to start seeing yourself differently. Not as someone who tries, but as someone who executes. Not as someone who hopes, but as someone who decides. Not as someone who waits, but as someone who moves, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when nobody believes in you yet. Because belief is not something you wait for. It's something you build, brick by brick, thought by thought, action by action. And at first, it will feel unnatural. You will doubt yourself. You will question if it's working. You will feel like giving up. That's normal because you are breaking an old version of yourself. And that version will fight to survive. It will tell you to stay comfortable. It will remind you of your past failures. It will whisper that you're not ready. But you have to understand something. That voice is not truth. That voice is fear. And fear is loud, but it is not powerful unless you obey it. So the question becomes, who are you going to listen to? The version of you that wants comfort or the version of you that demands growth? Because both voices exist. One will keep you safe. The other will make you great, but you cannot follow both. You have to choose. And once you choose, everything begins to change, not instantly, not magically, but inevitably. Because when your mindset shifts, your actions follow. When your actions change, your habits evolve. When your habits evolve, your life transforms. It's not a mystery. It's a process. And it starts with a decision so simple, yet so powerful. I refuse to think small anymore. And when that decision becomes real, when it moves from words into belief, that's when your future starts rewriting itself. Because once you refuse to think small, you start to notice something most people never see. You start to see how much of your life was built on assumptions you never questioned. You start to see how often you said, I can't, without ever trying. How often you settled, not because you had to, but because it felt easier than pushing forward. How often you waited for permission when none was ever required. And that realization, it's uncomfortable because now you can't pretend anymore. Now you see the truth, that the limits you thought were real were often self-imposed, that the ceiling above your head was never concrete. It was constructed by belief, and belief can be changed. But here's the part nobody tells you. Changing your mindset is not a one-time event. It's a daily battle. Every single day you wake up and the world will try to pull you back into old patterns. Negativity will surround you. Doubt will creep in. Distractions will fight for your attention. And if you're not intentional, you will fall back. That's why discipline is not optional. It is required because motivation is temporary. Motivation fades when things get hard. Motivation disappears when results don't show up immediately. But discipline stays. Discipline shows up when you're tired. Discipline shows up when you're frustrated. Discipline shows up when you don't feel like it. And those are the moments that define you. Not the days when everything is easy, but the days when everything in you wants to quit and you don't. That's where transformation happens. Think about it. Anyone can be positive when life is going well. Anyone can be focused when there are no distractions. Anyone can believe when success is already visible. But what about when nothing is working? What about when you're putting in the effort and the results aren't coming? When you're sacrificing comfort and nobody sees it? When you're giving your best and it still doesn't feel like enough? That's the test. That's the moment where your mindset either breaks or becomes unshakable. Because resilience is not built in comfort. It is forged in resistance. Every setback, every delay, every failure, it's not there to stop you. It's there to shape you, but only if you see it that way. Because two people can go through the same struggle and come out completely different. One becomes bitter, the other becomes better. One quits, the other grows. The difference? Mindset. The meaning you give to your experiences determines what they turn into. If you see struggle as punishment, you will suffer. If you see struggle as preparation, you will evolve, and evolution is necessary. Because the version of you that wants success is not the version of you that currently exists. Let that sink in. You cannot stay the same and expect a different life. You have to grow into it. And growth requires discomfort. It requires letting go of habits that once felt normal. It requires walking away from environments that no longer serve you. It requires becoming someone unfamiliar even to yourself. And that process is not easy. There will be moments where you feel alone, moments where you question if it's worth it, moments where the old life calls you back promising comfort, familiarity, ease. But you have to remember, comfort is expensive. It costs you your dreams. It costs you your potential. It costs you the life you could have lived. And if you're not careful, you will spend your entire life paying that price without even realizing it. So you have to make a decision. Are you willing to be uncomfortable now so you can live differently later? Are you willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment? Are you willing to become disciplined even when it feels unnatural? Because that's the price. Success is not hidden. It's not secret. It's just difficult. And most people are not willing to do what is difficult for long enough. But you're not most people. At least you don't want to be. That's why you're here. That's why something inside you is pushing you to listen, to reflect, to change. Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. Not a little more. More focus, more discipline, more impact, more growth. But potential means nothing without execution. You can have the greatest ideas in the world, the strongest intentions, the biggest dreams, but if you don't act, none of it matters. Execution is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And that bridge is built daily, not in giant leaps, but in small, consistent steps. The work you do when nobody is watching, the habits you build when nobody is clapping, the effort you give when there is no immediate reward. That's what creates momentum. And momentum changes everything. Because once you start moving forward, even slowly, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you can do it, that you can show up, that you can follow through. And that proof is powerful. Because confidence is not something you think your way into. It's something you earn through action, through consistency, through doing what you said you would do over and over again. And once you build that, once you become someone who trusts themselves, your mindset reaches another level. Because now it's not just belief, it's identity. You don't just think you can succeed, you know you will, not because it's guaranteed, but because you become the type of person who doesn't stop, who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't run from difficulty, who doesn't settle for less than what they're capable of. And that identity, that's unstoppable. Because life can slow you down, but it can't stop you. People can doubt you, but they can't define you. Circumstances can challenge you, but they can't control you. Not anymore. Because your mindset has changed, and once that changes, everything else follows. Because now, you're not just chasing success anymore. You're starting to understand something deeper. This isn't just about money. It's not just about status. It's not even just about proving people wrong. This is about purpose, and purpose changes everything. Because when you're connected to a purpose, you don't need to be pushed. You don't need constant motivation. You don't need someone to remind you why you started. You move differently. You wake up with intention. You act with clarity. You endure with strength. Because now it's bigger than you. It's about the life you know you're meant to live, the impact you know you're capable of making, the people you know you can inspire just by refusing to quit. And when you reach that level of awareness, something shifts inside you. You stop asking, what if I fail? And you start asking, what happens if I don't even try? You stop fearing the pain of discipline. And you start fearing the pain of regret. Because regret is heavy. It doesn't show up immediately. It waits. It waits until years have passed, until opportunities are gone, until the version of you that once dreamed becomes a memory, and then it hits you that you could have done more, been more. And that realization, that's a pain discipline could have prevented. So you begin to shift again. You start appreciating the struggle. You start valuing the process. You start becoming grateful, not just for the wins, but for the lessons. Because gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that even in the climb, you've already come far. That even in the struggle, you are growing. That even on your worst days, you are still moving forward. And that perspective, it keeps you steady. Because this journey is not a straight line. There will be highs. There will be lows. There will be moments where everything feels alive. And moments where nothing makes sense. But if your mindset is strong, you don't break, you adapt, you adjust, you learn, you evolve again and again. Because adaptability is power. The world changes, situations change, people change. But if you can adjust without losing your vision, you become unstoppable. And that's what this is really about. Not perfection, not instant success, but becoming the type of person who can handle anything. Who can walk into uncertainty and still move forward? Who can face failure and still believe? Who can experience doubt and still act? That's power, real power. And once you have that, no external circumstance can take it away because it's internal, it's built, it's earned. And now you're not the same person you were, not the one who hesitated, not the one who doubted everything, not the one who waited for the right time. That version of you is gone. This version decides. This version executes. This version doesn't negotiate with excuses, doesn't entertain weakness, doesn't run from pressure. This version steps forward again and again and again until something breaks, and eventually something will, but it won't be you. It will be the barriers, the limits, the doubts that once held you back, because persistence always wins. Not immediately, not easily, but inevitably. And when that moment comes, when everything you've been working for starts to show itself, when the results finally reflect the effort, when the life you once imagined becomes your reality, you won't just feel proud, you'll feel aligned, because you'll know you earned it. Every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice, every moment you chose growth over comfort, it all added up. It all mattered. And more importantly, it changed you, because in the end, that's the real reward. Not just what you achieve, but who you become in the process. Stronger, sharper, more focused, more disciplined, unrecognizable in the best way possible. And now there's only one thing left to understand. This doesn't end here. There is no finish line, no final level where you suddenly stop growing. Because greatness is not a destination, it's a standard, a way of living, a way of thinking, a way of showing up every single day. So you keep going, you keep building, you keep evolving, you keep pushing, even when you've already achieved more than you once thought possible. Because that's who you are now. Someone who refuses to settle. Someone who understands that mindset is everything, and that your future is not something you wait for. It's something you create. With every thought you choose, with every action you take, with every decision you make, when it would be easier not to. So stand up, focus your mind, lock in your vision, commit to the process, and remind yourself every single day that your mindset determines your future. And now that you know that, there is nothing left to stop you.